What's up, people? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this collective reading, this transmission, which is part 2 of the previous one, where I was talking about how globally a lot of mainstream media celebrities are gonna go downhill. And it's not just individually celebrities are going to go down, it's the whole industry that is going to get cleaned up. There will be a reset that will happen because in the last 700-800 years, lots of things in the perspective of how humanity should be has got corrupted. And in the last 70-80, or you can say 100 years, when we actually saw the advent of television, radio, telephone, technology, which is actually supposed to help us out, help people, help them grow and become better, or create more advancements or more facilities, create better systems for people. The same systems were misused by demonic agents, by the negative entities, by, you can also say, the reptilian extraterrestrials that rule this planet. This is how they are being labeled as. And obviously there are people on top who also run the show, and there are decisions that are being made. But this is sort of a prediction, you can say. The whole reset will complete in 2026, actually, by the end of 2026. So you can say beginning of 27 to 26. It all started in 2020, and last 4 years for some people have been very interesting, especially the last year, starting from, you can say, end of 2022 it started, but 23 was pretty tough for some people, but not in a bad way. Tough as in it taught people a lot of lessons, but it was also happening because people are also being prepared for the great reset, just the way a lot of people in awakening were prepared since 2016, 17, 18, 19, 4 years. Some people were put through spade work and preparation so that they could be the ones to reap the benefits of 2020, all the pandemic stuff that happened. Because for some people, pandemic was actually a part of their great awakening process. Similarly, 2024 is also a year which is supposed to be like spade work, training. 23 was a bit difficult, it looked scary, but by the time people got into 2024, especially after, I think, March, April, because that's when the year starts. As per Vikram Samvat calendar, the year starts in March. April is when the new year is. That's the time frame which we call the new year has started. But as per the English calendar, they say that the new year starts in January. 31st December is the last day of the year. So this is the reason why a lot of people saw some difficult changes starting in April, or you can say towards March, and they started seeing it. And the next 2 months were training, and it's still going on, but they will see big shift. Some of them have already started seeing it, and some of them will see it as time passes by. And for the whole world collectively also, it's almost the same thing. The setup is pretty similar. In the first part, I shared some details, and in the second part, I will continue so that I can complete this whole download. This was indeed a long download, and not just long from the perspective of how much content is there, but it also took its own sweet time, because I actually got this download last year, but it was just given to me like a lot of celebrities are going to regret, and celebrity culture will die. If it will not die also, it will fade away. People are not going to take them so seriously. That's how it was given to me. But as weeks passed by, and I still remember, I had a stack of cards. If I find it somewhere, I don't know where it's kept right now. It was a stack of cards that I had written with all of the messages that came via auto writing. But then more stuff started coming in, and now people are seeing, okay, stuff is happening in the music industry in Hollywood. But that's just the beginning. this is an energy. This is an energetic shift. So it's not going to happen only in the music industry. It's going to happen almost everywhere. So the music industry is shaking and falling down, and that's happening in the West, the Hollywood part of it. And you can see how hard they're trying. They had been trying to harvest energy by using dark themes and stupid rituals. I mean, the rituals are so stupid. They're literally on the face. They look stupid. They look hilarious to me, to be honest. Yes, they're spooky. Yes, they're scary, but that's why they make it spooky and scary, because they want people to feel that, they're in some kind of a dark spell. The films, even in India, if I look at India also, if I look at the film industry also, they're going through a really difficult time. Last 2 years have been really difficult for them, and just 1 or 2 movies have done well. And where the money is going, or where people are going, is basically the OTT platforms. So big projects don't see the crowd. Big stars are not able to pull the crowd to the theaters. The studios are in losses, and that's why I said this is happening everywhere, but it's going to happen even more now. Nothing seems to be working for the big so-called stars. Applications and platforms are doing well, and I'll tell you, only those places will do well in future which literally work like the Earth's theme. So you have everything out there. You have everything on YouTube. You have everything on Instagram. You have everything on internet. You can look for stuff, you'll see everything, whatever you want to look for. But people only are going to attract in their feed things that match with their frequency, with their vibration. So if you are in spiritual ascension, you're going to attract a certain type of content. If you are going through some kind of addiction patterns, you're going to attract content as per that. Whatever your energetic state is, the content you see, it's just like food and clothes and lifestyle. It's a reflection of who you are. So platforms who help people to do that, help people to just find a match of their own frequency, their own signature frequency, those platforms are going to do well, and rest will not. Wherever you have this whole worship culture, like you worship the celebrities or you worship the sports stars, the politicians, all those places are not gonna do well. I mean, as of now, there is still some hope with the sports world, but soon people are going to understand that sports also is just for entertainment, and it's not the same thing that it used to be. It is also a tool that distracts common masses, like we had good old gladiators, people used to get distracted, and people would be so busy watching the games and the matches that they would not really care about what's happening in the world of rulers and kings, and their own politics is separate. And now games are also connected to a lot of betting applications. They're also connected to a lot of gambling related things. It's like the sports stars, first they used to play for the country. That's how it is usually seen. They're playing for country or they're playing for teams, but now it's also become very much egocentric. So in the coming times, after the reset has taken place, and the reason why this reset is happening is so only authentic people, artists, evangelists, sports people, even spiritual people who walk on the path of divine faith will be protected. So 2023 and some parts of 24, they've been going through trials and tribulations, but this is for their best. So if you also resonate with it, this is a sign for you. This is a message directly for you. It's not a coincidence that you're watching it. Hang in there. This is all been happening to you to enhance your potential and increase your confidence, the actual confidence, so that you understand the difference between superficial confidence and real confidence. Any trials and tribulations that you're going through will provide you the tools that you need to go forward in life. Some people have already started experiencing the change. Some of these famous people weren't born evil. Rather, they were born to very greedy and narcissistic parents who coached them to become evil or act in evil ways or try to blend in with evil people. Even in the common masses, we see parents are coaching their children since a very young age to follow and adore superficial things. So these type of people are also going to go through the reset. False gurus and demonic celebrities are similar because their agenda is to harness energy for the demonic world by increasing desires in their followers. When material desire is very strong, it's better for them. So they want people to be attached to those materialistic things. The only healthy and beautiful desire, the right desire, is to be one with God. That's the only desire that's considered correct, because that desire actually takes you to divine light. It's going to do good for you. Sooner or later, it will do good for you. We can recognize the spiritually awakened people would be able to recognize people like they have more discernment. They would have more discernment to recognize people who are extremely attached with the upkeeping of the temporary physical identity. Not in a healthy way, but in a very insecure and mentally sick way. Some of these people who are extremely attached with the upkeeping of the physical or temporary identity, they can go to any extent to keep their physical identity or ego going. They believe that they need to keep up with the false, distorted, physical identity related patterns that look good superficially only, but inside there's nothing. It's all empty. So you see, these people's heart chakras are black. There's nothing there. And I'm talking about those who are really into it. I'm not talking about people who are 20% into it, 30% into it, 50% into narcissism. It's okay. I mean, they're programmed. They also have that empathetic side that's pushing them towards inner work and healing and ascension. Since mid-March 2020, people started awakening. Then more people awakened after mid-June 2020, followed by more awakenings in July 2022, between July to August, then February 2023, July 2024, and now we are in October. So many people will connect with their inner wisdom after facing negativity from the narcissistic people around or the narcissistic world around them. This will be a win. Eventually, it will be a win for the empaths. I won't use the label empath here. Even for some narcissists, it would be because they're going to figure out a lot of things. It would be a win for people who are godly, people who are integrating with source, people who are authentic. And the thing with authentic people is that you can't really predict how they should behave. Authentic people are not good and bad. In some situations, the authentic people are not going to please others. They're not going to care so much about their image, how they look in front of people. They can look bad in front of some people if they have to do the right thing in a certain context. So that is also going to happen. Now I'm going to tell you how it works, okay? Why these people have been harvesting energy. The demons recognized the true spiritual masters in the dark age. And they used to violently attack them. But they did their job, the masters did their job and eventually left this plane. At that time also, the demonic agents or dark agents thought that maybe they had a win, because some of them think that physically if they win it's okay. But the masters were very powerful, they're very powerful astrally, and they created a different blueprint that the satanic people cannot recognize, okay? Where the coming agents, you can say the divine agents, the League of Extraordinary EBEs, they would flourish in the same negative conditioning which is otherwise supposed to corrupt people. Demonic agents were very confident, the asuras were very confident that if we do this type of conditioning or if we do this type of programming, these guys will never figure it out. I mean, the divines would never figure it out. But the programming actually helped them in their awakening journey, because before you're born, everything is pre-decided. what type of karma you're gonna incur, and how long will the impact of karma be, how many years are you going to suffer because of that type of programming that you receive, and then how are you going to get out of it. There are always messengers who would be sent to you just when you're gonna go off to that path and you're supposed to go to this one. A messenger will come and guide you the way. So every small little detail was actually predestined and predetermined, and it was done in such a beautiful, exceptional way. There are no accidents in nature. Nature never does anything accidentally. So the same programming that was otherwise supposed to harm them is going to help them, is actually helping them as I talk. So the same narcissistic society will become the breeding ground for the awakening or awakened people, because they are going to be born with strong gifts of discernment. They know how to blend in, and they know how to convert their curses into gifts. In fact, the people are great swimmers of the deep. So the dark agents, I won't use the word dark here, the demonic, the evil agents, the satanic agents, thoughts that we're gonna push these people into deep sea, deep ocean. But these guys are actually masters or champions of swimming in the depth. And if people still haven't figured it out, they're still swimming, they will figure it out in due course of time, because the blueprint works. From the Indian subcontinent, I can give you names of some great masters: Guru Angad, Mirabai, Kabir, Varis Shah, and many more such saints. And my masters, my great grandmaster, he was really brilliant, and for the time frame that he was in, it's a perfect time for spreading the solar plexus Bij mantra once again in the planet. Because if you look at Mirabai, you look at Guru Angad, you look at Guru Nanak Dev Ji, also look at Kabir Ji, all of them, Rahim Ji, they all talked about the solar plexus Bij mantra, because that's like the magical mantra they all knew and they all practiced. In the West, we have Jesus Christ, whose actual name is Jehovah. We all know that, but people don't call him by his actual name. Some of these masters were also used by some people who created organized religion in their name. There was no religion. They never created any religion. They just wanted to create an education system, and which they did very beautifully. But people did create organized religions, which are very new also. At the moment, they're very new religions. The Bhakti movement refers to the theistic devotional trend that emerged in the medieval Hinduism. Some of the popular saints of this movement were Kabir, between 1440 to 1518, and all the names that I'm taking, there are lots of mystical experiences also that happened around them, and they were very genuine masters. Like, we see a lot of gurus, we see a lot of teachers, healers, there's that, coaches everywhere, but not everyone is real. Many are fake. So these were like really amazing. Namdev was there between 1270 to 1350, Mirabai 1498 to 1557, Nanak 1469 to 1539. Now Yeshua or Jehovah, Joshua, these were all different names. Like, his actual name, Jesus' actual name was Yeshua, which is a Hebrew name that becomes Joshua in English, and the name Jesus comes from the ancient Greek form of Yeshua, which is actually Lesus. So how the Christ got attached to his name, even that is something that we all need to look into. Now the angelics, current a lot of people, we call them angelics, came up with a much smarter plan to confuse the demons. Even during the time of Kans. So Kans was basically a demon lord. Once again, he was the uncle of Lord Shri Krishna, and in the same house they had a demon. So Lord Krishna was born in a house where his own uncle, maternal uncle, was a demon. So let me tell you one more thing. Not all demons look like demons. They are born in normal houses. They are humans by birth, but they become demonic because of the things they do. So Kans also was like that. He became demonic. In case of Ravan, you can still say that he was born in the demon clan. He was son of a demoness. He looked like a demon pretty much, but Kans was not like that. Kans became a demon later on because he chose to be one. So he also was very powerful, very confident. The demons also have huge amount of confidence. That confidence, that superficial confidence, the material confidence that they carry is the very reason why they are able to create all of this menace on this planet. So the demons need to also be made to feel a certain amount of fear, and most demons fear death. They fear death, which is why they do a lot of penance, because all of them, they try to protect themselves. First they do penance, they do tapasya. Now tapasya is not just you do good deeds and you collect all of the good energy of all the virtues you have. No, penance also means to make your mind very strong. You make your mind so strong that you don't get affected by anything. Now if you put that, if you direct all of that energy in the protection of your physical identity, that's when you start turning more and more and more and more demonic eventually, because all the penance you did, all the power you gained, all the shakti you got, you're not putting it into just being chill, just accepting life. Because yes, you can use those things to manifest stuff, and this is why I tell people that law of attraction can be dangerous. It can be a very angelic, very uplifting, very powerful, very spiritual thing, but at the same time it can also be a very dark demonic thing that can attract entities that you wouldn't want to have around, unless you summon those entities, unless you're okay. But those entities will need sacrifice. They will need something from you. They will need your soul. They will need a piece of your soul. First they'll take this much, then they'll take this much, then they'll take this much, huge piece of it, and then eventually people are not left with anything. So they need to infiltrate the mind of the demon. So when Kans was very powerful and there was no way that he was going to stop, he got his sister married off. When his sister Devaki and Vasudev were being taken off to the palace after wedding, and the charioteer was Kans himself, there was a big announcement in the sky. Now today we have technology, we are doing a lot of cool things because of technology, but there are also things that happen via the divines. Divine is very powerful. So it was a divine Akashvani or announcement, you can say. It was just a loud thunderous sound in the sky which said that your time is going to be up soon, because you have done a lot of horrible stuff. You've been killing a lot of people. You've been trying to just only become just this materialistically successful person, and that has gotten you blinded. Just the flesh related pleasures. And the announcement said that the same sister that you're taking to the palace so happily, the announcement said that Devaki's 8th child is going to kill you. The 8th son. It was not mentioned son or daughter, but they said 8th child of Devaki is going to kill you, Kans, and this is definitely going to happen. Now, Kans had never heard such an announcement. I mean, this was a mystical intervention like never before. And Lord Shri Krishna actually was born with 16 kalas. His whole life was full of these mystical and magical interventions, which people really could not explain. And he was actually born that way, because he was born in the descending Dwapar. This is the time when dark energy is also getting slowly and gradually, it starts becoming more and more and more and more powerful. And within the same family, you have the demons and you have the divines. And that's why he also helped the Pandavas, because the Pandavas were divine and their own cousins, brothers, they were demons, because they became demonic because of the whole story. If you read the story, you'll get to know the story of Mahabharata. So Krishna was 8th child of Devaki and Vasudev. This announcement shocked Kans, and for many nights he could not sleep. And then he started acting more and more crazy. And these divine interventions didn't stop. Even when Devaki was pregnant, so he kept killing all the children, and finally she was pregnant the seventh time the womb was transferred to another lady. So Krishna's elder brother Balram was born. The eighth time when Krishna was born, he was replaced with another divine child, which was at the house of Nanda, where he was sent and swapped with. And that girl, baby girl, when Kans tried to kill her, she flew in the sky. Literally from his hand she flew in the sky, and she stood in the air, and from there she made this announcement that the one who's going to kill you is already born. You can't harm me. And she vanished. So these type of mystical interventions are also going to happen in a lot of these demonic agents' life. Yeah, I'm giving this example because they're going to see how God is going to show them stuff that they never believed in, because they always underestimated the power of God. They always underestimated source. They underestimated light. There's always a time for everything. So as per the divine timing, these things are going to happen. In fact, even with Mirabai, Guru Angad, there were so many stories. Like Mirabai was given poison by her own family members. Her own husband's elder brother, who was the king of that time, gave her one big bowl of poison, and she had to drink the poison in front of everybody, and she drank it and nothing happened to her. So that's a mystical intervention. I mean, they tried to kill her, they tried to humiliate her publicly, but nothing happened to her. And after drinking all of that poison, one drop of poison was deadly. She drank the whole cup. She just, like, normally she was walking and singing and people were just following her. Huge crowd started following her wherever she went, and suddenly she just vanished into thin air. She disappeared. And Kabir Ji's body, when he passed over, because Hindus loved him and Muslims loved him, Kabir Ji was guru for both. He was not discriminating between Hindus and Muslims in India. I'm talking about the time when Bhakti movement was very strong. Even the Sufi gurus or the Sufi teachers were loved by both. All types of religions used to love the Sufi saints. So when Kabir Ji died, he was wrapped in a white sheet, okay, and right after his death, people started fighting. The Hindus and Muslims started fighting amongst each other because they all loved him, but they were like, you know what, we're going to cremate him in our way, and they were like, we're going to bury him in our way, our style. And they started fighting. But when they went to his body, they lifted the white bed sheet. There was no body. Body was gone, and there were only flowers. Right in front of people, it happened. Even in their lives, if you read Kabir's stories, you will find out that he has shared or talked about many interesting and mystical experiences that normal people don't have. So these masters, all of these masters that I'm talking about, they were magical even at that point in time. And they were not the ones who would show chamatkar, or they would, perform some of these magic acts in front of the people and impress them. No. They were not like that. They didn't believe in these things. The magic was happening on its own. Divine magic, you would say. And some of it, a lot of it was only for them, because they also had to experience it. And then slowly and gradually, other people also started witnessing certain things around them, happening around them. So just the way demons place their own people with the angelics in the past, and they used the mainstream media also to program people and to harvest human energy, the angelics also planted their own people. It's like tit for tat, or you can say they did the same thing that the demonic agents did. So they planted them everywhere, and in a huge number they've planted angelics. And now is the time when more and more angelics and awakened people, Twinflame, Starseeds, light workers, they will be seen like in a bigger number, much bigger number, even at places that the demons, the demonics would not have imagined. They would not have imagined that here also they can flourish, here also they can do well. So these planted EBEs or volunteering EBEs keep a strong watch everywhere. They are watchers. Some of them are even kids right now. They're children at the moment, so it's so tough to recognize them. Some of them also chose a very simple life. No limelight, no attention, no popularity, nothing doing, with those type of things. Having a very, very like simple, hidden, easy life, regular life, very blended in lifestyle. And some of them were actually out there, literally out there, doing all the stuff that the mainstream people do. Like, apparently it looks like it, but they were not really doing any of the stuff internally. They were just doing a charade, just a facade. They would always step away from the wrong things. So these angelics could be anywhere. They could be working as a construction labor. They could be working in a office, in a government office as a clerk. They could also be surrounded by a lot of corrupt people. They could hold simple positions but have very godly personalities. Like, it could be a very honest police officer, a constable in a department full of corrupt people, or it could be someone who is a farmer, someone who's a teacher. And nowadays you would see rise of such people even in various sort of, you can say, style or segments of entertainment industry. So they have a light in their eyes. They're people of faith. You know that they're people of faith. Nothing can deter them. Nothing can change them. Nothing can challenge their morals and beliefs and value systems. They're also like spies in some places. They have a very strong invisible and visible spirit team. Yes, they also have a visible spirit team and invisible spirit team. I mean, both ways spirit team is functioning. Sometimes they themselves are baits. They act as baits. They are in places where they are the baits. They act very weak and vulnerable. They act like, oh my god, I'm in such a big trouble. So the demons are very drawn to such energies and such people, and for the demons it's a delicious meal coming to them, so they feel like, oh my god, I'm going to seduce this person, and I'm going to seduce this person, or whatever, fool this person, and I will have my own field day. And it's like a duty for the demons also. They also need to get the numbers. So they say, oh yeah, okay, I got more people coming in. This is good energy. This is really good energy. I mean, this type of energy eating, hungry vampire demons. The 2019 horror movie, which is like a continuation of The Shining, it's called Doctor Sleep. This is also a movie where I feel that they did a pretty good job of talking about how the angelics have special abilities and how demons are drawn to such children, because the demons feed off of these children. And the movie shows how they actually first put the kids through a lot of fear. The kids are scared to death, they are kidnapped, or they're treated in ways. Probably they do it to collect the energy. The more they are scared, the better it is. But the girl who defeats them all doesn't get scared at all, and that's how things change. That's how things shift. And I think this is pretty much what is going to happen now to a lot of demons. They're going to lose their power because they're not going to be able to put any fear. The game they play is a game of fear, and the extraterrestrial biological entities who are here especially to volunteer to shift the earth, they are here to be a part of the great movement, the great transition of planet earth. They have got light in their eyes. They are people of faith. They don't get scared by anything. They are not scared of anything, literally. They are demon slayer souls. So as I said, they have very strong spirit team, and they are not materialistically also greedy. So they don't want the money, they don't want the fame, they don't want the name, they don't want the power. Half of the things, like 50%, I would not say 50%. These are the things that demons offer to people. They're not going to take any of the offers because they're not interested in the offers. All they want is spiritual growth and development. All they want is source integration. So maybe in that department they might get betrayed here and there, but still these people understand. They've got good amount of discernment. All they care about is inner work, healing, progress, spiritual ascension. That's what they care about. And such people also care about service, because what are you going to do with all the spiritual awakening and ascension? It's not just to get enlightened. You get enlightened, you sit on the top of the mountain, and then what? So this whole enlightenment, the shops that a lot of people open in the name of enlightenment, that's also hyped and overrated. Nobody wants to just get enlightened and then do nothing. If enlightenment was the only goal, then why would Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi, who are the preserver of the planet, keep reincarnating on planet Earth over and over and over and over again? Why do they keep coming back? They can also just chill somewhere, right? Because Earth is not designed like that. The Earth keeps going through resets every now and then. There is a reset. There's a final reset after Golden Age, when the Golden Ages have happened, and then once again the whole descending Satyug, descending Treta, descending Dwapar, then there's a Dark Age, and then there's a reset again, because now we are going to go into ascending time. So all this while we were in the masculine energy, now we will be in the feminine energy. So this is a very interesting thing, guys. The more we get into it, the more we learn. If you guys want to study metaphysics with me, if you want to get a lot of these interesting downloads individually, like you have questions and you want to work with me, then you guys can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. You can also check out the description box. It has a number of interesting courses that you can select from, especially if you feel that those things are troubling you. Maybe you are troubled by narcissistic abuse, maybe you're not able to ascend fully because of the negative memories, they keep pulling you down, or you feel you need to work on the karmic release patterns, 3D karmic patterns which are kind of stubborn on your system, or you keep going through demonic attacks, dark entity attacks, and it's been a while that you're struggling with it. So then you can get into these sessions with me and you can work individually one-on-one. You can also get into a reading with me. In conclusion, now if the demons in conclusion, if now the demons do anything evil, they are going to go back to the same loop. Why? Because they're going to go to these people thinking that these are baits. They're going to go to them, but actually they are not seducing them. They are being seduced by the energy of the angelics. It's the angelics who are seducing them, acting as baits, pretending as baits, like come over, come to me, oh, I'm in this situation, blah blah blah. And as soon as they approach them, they get trapped. Boom, they're gone. So they are trapped, they are stuck, they are in that loop. The same thing that they were doing, intercepting into people's timelines, creating fear, creating all of the horror, and then now people are just thinking about it, and every time you think about all of those negative experiences, those bad experiences, you're actually giving energy to those people. So demons are doing the same thing now because they're also scared for their life. And this is a very fair system because it works on the yuga cycles as well. So as long as there is dark age, okay, the demons are more powerful because everywhere, their power is working. But if the time changes, they have no option but to leave. But they don't want to leave. That's the thing. They don't leave that easily. It's a fair system because before all of this happens, the demons are given opportunities to fix their greed. I mean, of course, people like Diddy or Kanye West, or I'm not talking about the clone Kanye, because all these people were reminded of their wrong acts. But they continue to choose greed and they continue to shamelessly be in their overconfident, inhuman ways, selfish ways, very narcissistic ways. They chose the evil path knowingly, because they knew that these things are going to impact a lot of people. It's not good. Yeah, okay, they're going to get some fame, money, they're going to get fancy houses, luxury, private jets, this, that. But what is it going to cost? So they didn't care about what is it going to cost. So they basically fool people in the name of progress. They hypnotize them so that they can harvest energy via the loop they create within their timeline. They work on attention, backstabbing, and betrayal that breaks a person's heart and trust in that they have in goodness and love. The loop acts like a portal. It's like an electrical socket where they plug into their chargers. The only way out is to find the right guru, the right masters, and make the electric current come via divine. So for example, like this is the socket. This is the human portal. The demons are getting charged from it. So as long as human beings, they are programmed in a certain way, even they have their own charge, they carry their own energy as well, right? So if you connect it with the divine connection, if it's coming from source, then the demons who are very low frequency, because their charger cannot handle the divine light or the divine current, they cannot. So when they get plugged into your portal, thinking that it's a human generator, but if you're connected with the divine, they're gonna get probably electrocuted, or they're gonna get like current that they cannot handle, in simple words. That's how you protect yourself. They only know how to harvest the energy that comes via humans. They don't know what to do with divine energy. And divine energy is not gonna come into your portal just like that. You gotta become that type of a person who also can handle the divine light. For that, you need to be so pure. That's why the purification process is so important. That's why Kundalini rising happens. That's why we are in the ascension journey. So that slowly and gradually we get there. It cannot happen in one go, boom. No, it doesn't work like that. It's a step-by-step process. So a couple of things can happen to demons who try to steal your energy. Either they're going to stay away from you. They're going to be like, no, I'm not getting into this person's aura anymore, because this is like not good for me. Or they're gonna get like completely slayed, demon slayed, the demons are gonna get exorcised. Or they're gonna have to merge with the light in order to survive. They also need to have that kind of urge where they want to get free from all of this. Sometimes innocent people also end up becoming demonic agents. If they understand their mistakes, if they learn from their mistakes, maybe they got hyper depressed, maybe there came a point in their life where they were questioning everything, all of the public mockery or the fear of people are going to find out about me. Maybe if that can help a person walk on the right path, then why not? They can get out from the vicious cycle which they are badly trapped in. So now it's the time to become one with God. That's the only way out of the corrupt system, of the energy pool that they've been a part of, where you have so many corrupt people who have stooped really low. And when I say stooped really low, I've said it multiple times, it's not small little things. They've done horrible things that will also come out in the open. Their acts, the wrong acts, the shameful acts will all come out in public. Just the way it happened with Jeffrey Epstein, or just the way it's going to happen with other people. Very soon you'll see it. Also, with all of this great reset, a lot of common people will learn that they can earn money in the right ways, and it's not really necessary to become famous or very big or very wealthy, or all of the stuff that they're influencing you to become. The deceit around them, they recognize because they have discernment, they recognize because they find the true master, they recognize because they want to integrate with the source, and sooner or later they do it. And it's like happening in percentage form. So once you start integrating with source, there's no looking back really. Soon these people will no longer remain important. I'm talking about the demons, the demonic agents now. With the advent of AI tools and deepfake technology and very advanced level of animation, there will not be any need of actors or models or sports people. People in general also are going to be more involved in individual entertainment, like how it's happening. Everybody has their phone, everybody is getting entertainment individually via their laptops or via OTT platforms, or they just want to be in their own zone, in their own rooms. That the whole concept of let's get entertained socially is kind of fading away. there will be VR, very advanced level or very advanced forms of VR, virtual reality devices would also come in. So if somebody wants to share a story, even as a creator, even as an artist, you would not be so dependent on other people. You would not have to depend on a film crew, or you don't have to call for actors, you don't have to call for this, that. I mean, it's going to be the time and age, the new age. I think the new age popular people or love people are going to be the creators, the writers, the story creators, the ones who can imagine, the ones who can put the screenplay out, the ones who researchers. I mean, both. There will be fiction and there will be factual researchers. There will not be any need of celebrities, like their face or their body language or their energy will not be required. Even today, via AI, the tools that we have now, we can create, a lot of people can create visual aid. They don't need anyone. They just put down the story, they put down the voiceover, and everything can be set up. So these tools will also create benefit for common masses but problems for celebrities, because you're gonna see very soon. Netflix also had this very interesting, the Black Mirror show also had it, how some people, some celebrities' faces are going to be misused now, and they can't stop it. They can't stop it. Just the way they never thought about stopping programming, false programming, negative programming. They were so selfish, they only thought about themselves. Now, as time changes, they will be used by a lot of these hackers or creators. There will not be much value to their personalities, whatever they create, the physical persona that they create. Anyone can literally use anybody's photos or videos. And this will also lead to one more thing, that original content creators will come up and they will become the ones that people would follow, listen, watch to, as per their own signature energetic match. So if I have a certain frequency, for example, I'm going to watch say 10-20 people, or I'm going to watch a certain type of content. I mean, now also you can see, if you open up any application that you use a lot, you go to the main page or the feed of that particular application, compare it with someone else. Compare it with your mother or your brother or anyone else who also uses similar application or same application. It will be entirely different. Everything will be different. So there will not be much requirement for a lot of people anymore. That also means that there would be more tools to distract the masses. It's not like the demonic agents are going to just vanish. They will work on more advanced tools, because even their reality will continue. The only thing is that their reality will not be as strong as it is as of now. Some of the mainstream media rulers are very well aware about this, so they also need specific humans to do their jobs, and they can create their own factory of clones, or they can use faces, or they can use personalities. Some of the famous people are going to feel threatened by other such bots or other such characters who can be created very easily now, because they're going to take away their jobs and their identities. So yeah, they will feel threatened by them. Many famous people will also feel backstabbed, because no one's going to save them from this situation. With no job, not much to do, with tainted images, they themselves will end up becoming the harvested ones. And the reason why Satan is going to choose them is because they have lots of people's energy. So now Satan needs that energy. I'm going to paraphrase this. In future, writers, editors, behind the screen technicians, voiceover artists, multi-talented people will get the due credit and become actual celebrities. For the last 100 years, these talented people were in the back burner because they had really good stories. They didn't want to corrupt the minds of people. So they had good stories, they had message-oriented stories, and they were put into the back burner. They were like, no, you're not going to get the perks. I mean, in India, it's very funny. I mean, still in the West, you can say, the person who's singing a song is the person who is also performing or acting. But in India, it's like there's one person singing the song, there's another person playing the music, then there's another person pretending like, yeah, this is my voice actually, and I am the singer. I mean, they're acting it out, but really it's a combination, it's a collection of hundreds of people's energies and hard work and efforts that actually creates a star. So one person's stardom or one person's luxurious lifestyle is also pumped in with the help of the energy of many loyal and selfless people. This also needs to change, and the reason it will change, or specifically it will change for those people who never gave any due credit to other people and who misused their position. They misused their pedestal to spread alcoholism, addictions, bad food, junk food, unhealthy lifestyles, casual relationships, sexual misconduct. All the people who did all these things, they're definitely going to get punished, and they will be under the radar, and people will not like them, people will not worship them. Their dark secrets will be out, literally out in the public, and they'll also wash their dirt in public, and some of these semi-pornographic, or literally I would say they're also into pornography, these influencers, these horrible people who talk about influencing others, but they are so vulgar and so cheap, they're also going to be thrown out of this system. They're also going to realize that what they're doing is bad, because their bullshit is also going to come out in public very soon. Their lies, their manipulations, their false stories, all of the victim game they have played, victim card, women card, sad story, sob story card, all of the cards that they've played, people are going to see the truth of it. The right people are going to come up, because there's a dire need to heal the world, protect the children, and also protect the men and women who are authentic, who take care of nature and its beings. For those who are stepping into the fifth dimensional reality, they have to understand that a part of earth is now merging with hell, and some people are definitely going to go to that hell, to the hell part of earth. And a lot of good people don't want to take any credit either. They want to silently serve people. They want to silently do things. They don't want all the adulation and recognition. Even the meaning of the word celebrity will change, because celebrity means someone who's celebrated. They're celebrated for a certain reason. But if the reason they are being celebrated for, whatever that reason is a false reason, is a wrong reason, is a corrupt reason, but it is made to look good via PR and marketing and tools and this and that, then two wrongs don't make a right. So people will look into what is the actual meaning of the word celebration, what should be celebrated and what should not be celebrated, what type of people, thoughts, attitudes, what type of people are responsible. All of these things are going to be looked upon in detail, properly. Big ego about stuff, not doing any contribution to the world around, that's not something people want to celebrate anymore. This celebrity status is not for stupid, arrogant, narcissistic people. Celebration is about togetherness, divinity, responsibility, nurturing, love, unconditional love. We are all one. We are the children of God. We are all part of Source. We are made from the same speck of light that Source is made from. This oneness, this love, this unconditional love, this authenticity, truth. Thinking about other people's progress, doing things for people selflessly, healing this world, healing Mother Nature, helping others. Even if you don't want to help people, just to be honest. These are the things that need to be celebrated. This also teaches people one more thing, that there are lots of talented people, lots of good-looking people, lots of wealthy people on this planet. But doesn't mean that just because somebody's talented, good-looking, wealthy, this, that, doesn't mean that they're authentic. Doesn't mean they're divine. Divinity is something that would be recognized by people. So what we need to celebrate is, we celebrate the source, divine, and what we celebrate also, we need to choose it wisely and carefully. Because we like something about those people for a reason. We need to look within and understand the reasons why we're getting influenced or inspired by someone. Is it a correct reason or is it not? And this is where I'm going to close this session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.